Hi, my name is Jennifer Pittman, and I will be doing a lesson on acids or bases. It is the second part to the unit lesson. The type of class is a 12, one-to-one, with a teacher and a teaching assistant. Our focus learning will be emotionally disturbed. The learning objectives, which also follow the Common Core learning standards, will be the students will follow steps of the scientific method, and they will also predict which one of these household substances are acids or bases. Now, the Common Core learning standards will be for the Common Core reading, for literacy and science and technical subjects for grades 9 through 10. The students will also follow a multi-step procedure with experiments, taking measurements on technical tasks, and we will also make sure we pay attention to special cases, as well as exceptions defined in the text. The central focus will basically just be the students will have to identify which one of these substances or acids, bases, are neutral. Our vocabulary, language, and communications will be pH scale, acids, bases, neutral, and the scientific method. The materials that we will be using will be distilled water, dish soap, soda, baking soda, milk, and coffee. They also, out beside them, have their pH levels, and as I will explain later on in the lesson, you will find out which ones are acids, bases, or neutral. The lesson, students will work in teacher-made groups of 3 to about 4 students. They will follow the scientific method to determine which one of these household items or acids, bases, are neutral. On classroom management, students will be put in teacher-made groups, and they will also be made around the students' behavioral plans for individual students, and that will continue throughout the lesson. The assessment, students will be informally and formally assessed. The informal assessment will be based on the students' behavior plans, IEPs, and class participation. And as the students do well, they'll get more points, and as you can see right here in the graph will grow longer. And if they do less, then their points will be less, and the graph will be shorter. For the formal assessment, we'll have a chart that the kids will basically be filling out alone, as well as the different household substances, and they will be marking if they're acids, neutral, or bases. Now for our adaptations, we'll have an online simulation, as you can see right here. And the simulation will be about acids or bases. Now the teachers, parents, and administrators, they'll also have access to students' behaviorals throughout the lesson, and that will be through the teacher's app. Our accommodations, which will be for our focused learner, they'll be given a chart with the scientific method written out, as well as a list of the different household substances and the pH scale. And this is so that this will help the student easily record the data. Now over here we also have a formal assessment, and it's called our exit ticket, and it is for our focused learner. Right here they'll have vocabulary words and then their definitions, and they'll just draw a line from the word to the definition. And this will be how we will formally assess our focus learner. We also have flashcards with the words as well as the definitions that the students can revert to as a resource, as well as to help them along with their formal assessment. And we also have our litmus paper. And if you put one in, it'll turn from red to blue, and that means it's a base. Yeah. And if it turns from blue to red, it is an acid. And that is all for my lesson. Thank you for listening.